last stream, just 48 hours ago. Let me go and, as always, just post the links and stuff, and then we'll get right to it. It's pretty dark around me because it's nighttime here, so sorry about it. I hope, and then I'm wearing black, probably a bad idea, but whatever. I hope it's watchable. Let me see here. Legend Keepers, go to the Legend of Keepers Discord. Goblin Studio is the one, they have like a unified one. Unity boost, boom. Going live with the continuation of my Legend of Keepers playthrough. Of my modded Legend of Keepers playthrough. Boom, with a link to the channel. Okay, then I think we are ready to rock and roll. Oh, wait, hold on. Test. Oh, I'm not logged into the chat. Aha, hold on. No, I am. Strange. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay. I think everything is working. Hold on. So, yeah, okay, that was me writing that thing on the screen. I couldn't really tell. Alright, good. Let's not dally any longer. Load up the playthrough.
Let's get to work!
Let's get to work. Good. Now, where were we? We had just finished a dungeon and then we did a workout the week before here. We have this super overpowered dragon that we will not use unless people really want to see it or something like that. I'm gonna try to not use it anymore because I feel like it's basically breaking the playthrough. It's just too good. And I was gonna go and write like a little review on the mod and suggest maybe a balance change, but I haven't done it yet. So, but I will do that. It's fine if you want to make like a really powerful modded creature. It's not a big deal. I'm sure they are aware that it is. The creator anyway. Alright. Plunder or event. Plunder seems to be the best solution here. Let's go for it. We can go to a disreputable tavern. Words. Then a haunted crypt for some gold. Or a feudal castle for 88 to 125. This one seems strictly better. But the risk of unavailability is also higher. For 100% for 3 of the launches for 2 weeks is nothing. And we get an extra monster. We don't need more artifacts. Excuse me. 2 weeks. I'll take this one. 1 for 3 weeks, but here we also like get a monster, so I think I'll take this one. Plunder. And we did lose them, so the volunteers came back without plundering anything. Too drunk for them to remember the goal of their mission, they will need to go to rehab for 2 weeks. However, a monster they have helped during the brawl has decided to join your workforce for free as a sign of gratitude. Gold lost 100 gold. I didn't see that. I thought it was gold gained. So that's basically a difference between about 200 gold, which is about what a succubus is worth. So it's fine. But whoops, I would have preferred to gain money. Yeah, okay. My bad. We gained a succubus though, which is nice. They are good, for sure. Business trip or trainer. We don't really have the money for the trainer, so let's go to a business trip. And we need tiers. We need to start scaring people away in the dungeons with morale, because we're not getting tiers. We have way too much blood, and we're gonna get more blood here, because I'm not gonna get this Horn of Plenty. No. So we are gonna go for the blood. 8 weeks for my level 1 Gargoyle, it's fine. Bye bye. And then we have veterans coming in. Alright. Let me take out... So we have this item still, right? Yeah, the Trobier. Monsters gain shield 2 at the start of the fight if their motivation is full. And we have so many monsters right now that we can rotate those who don't have full motivation, I think. And so we should be able to make it work just fine. What kind of builds are we going for at this point? Oh, we also have the Totem of Strength. Monsters in the room gain 2 bonuses to start a fight if they all share the same type. That's what I'm trying to play around. So this is our demon room, I think. And then up here we have a creature room with a skeleton dog in it. Okay. We can do skeletons over here as well if we wanted. And then creatures. It's probably better to go for an entire room of the same. Can we do that? Creature, creature, and... creature. I feel like one of them ended up over here. Yep. Now this whole room is creatures, and we can do a bleed combo. Yes, and we can do a few other things, I suppose. Nothing in particular. And then we have a demon room where we have fire. We should throw in maybe the skeleton soldier as a backup. No more demons over here. Alright, so the dragon is a creature. Alright, makes sense. And so, we need to focus on having morale capabilities in both rooms, which I think we sort of do here. Yeah, we have morale, and then we can either enrage everyone or try to stun someone. And he does not have full motivation, this guy, so maybe I don't want to bring him. Then we'll put in the skeleton dog. So we have a skeleton in both rooms that we don't really want to use, but I might as well put them in here, and then maybe we can use them if nothing else really works. But then we don't get the shield, obviously, so it's kind of tricky. And here we have morale, plenty of morale affecting units, and we should try to go for the morale build as a primary thing here. Okay. And for rooms, we can choose between the ice dungeon or the regular dungeon, and I think the the regular dungeon is better for us. Ice dungeon is better if we have ice combo for some of our rooms. We have one ice creature. But then the other one combos with bleeding, so that's why we're going with this one, and boom. Alright. Oh, we still have the vote thing ongoing, so if we have any viewers, I don't know if anyone has joined the stream yet, but you can vote for whether heroes or monsters get the enraged. You have to be on Twitch to do this. So, let's see, we have the Berserker, Yagan, and a Scholar. Berserker doing physical to the front, applying enrage. He has a resistances increased by 15. That's everything except armor, which is already high for him. So that's a pretty good passive for him for sure. And then we have air damage to the back and apply tiredness. He heals morale for 1 unit. I still think this is an outdated skill, because you can't heal 50% of a hero's morale anymore. It's not possible with the new system. And damage from morale is taken from traps are reduced by 50%. Oh. And this guy has morale losses reduced by 50% as well, and then does fire damage to the front and ice damage to this monster with the lowest ice resistance at the start of each fight. Okay, tricky. We wanted to do morale. These two are then really good against morale stuff, so that's kind of tricky. But the Berserker or Barbarians or whatever you want to call them are always have low morale, so it's pretty good on him. And I suppose doing morale damage to everyone else is also fine. If we can give them below 50, then they at least take more damage, so it's not like it hurts us. And so I think we will be going for the morale, as I said I would. Boom, boom, and something like this. You have high armor. And this is armor to the front. Then we have air damage being done to the back, and you have decent air resistance. That's nice. Yeah, okay. And the skeleton dog is not a creature. If we use this combo here, everyone is a creature, and so they get shell too, which is really, really nice for us. And then over here, fire damage to the front. Which is bad for the orc. But everyone we have is fire weak. That's a general problem that I seem to be having throughout this playthrough, is that fire is really bad for us. There's nothing I can do about it. We have to run what we have. I can choose between these two for the frontliner, and I think I'll still go with the orc. Yeah. Who has the lowest ice resistance? Oh, that would be an orc too, but with positive still, so it's pretty nice. Okay. Air to the back. 73. He's only got 60 health, but modified by 30%. But he also does 30% more damage. My question is, does the Goblin Drummer even get 2 attacks here? I think he might. Because I wish I was better at math. 73 plus 30% is about 90 something. Yeah, okay. And that... Oh, but then he gets the shell because of the troll beer, and we also get the totem of strength, right? So he should survive the first one, and then the enraged. If no one votes for the vote thing up here, by the way, I think the way it works is that it goes 50-50 on either side. So there's a chance that the heroes get it, and there's a chance that the monsters win it. And I'm going to abstain, of course. So if they get the enraged, then we might be screwed. Alright, then we have... Could apply the Demoralize here, or we could go for the bats. Then we come in here, there's the Terrify. So this guy takes less damage and morale from traps, but it's not a big deal, we can still do it. Oh, in fact, can I apply Demoralize right here? Yes, that's perfect with the pile of bones then coming up after the fact. I don't think I can say no to that, that's amazing. Except this guy, of course, takes less, and so does this guy. But then at that point, the Berserker's probably already running. So the pile of bones goes in. And then we still, at that point, we've really doubled down on morale. Can you go away, please? Oh, it's the vote. Blah. Okay. The vote sort of takes up some of my space here. Okay. We're hoping, I guess, that the Berserker doesn't even get a turn in here. I think we can make that happen. And so then it'll be just these two, most likely. And we're going full demons, so it'll be air to the back, fire to the front. This guy has high fire resistance and high armor in case the Berserker lives. Okay. Air to the back line, then we have air 50% here. Okay, that's good. 25 and 25. So probably the ghost. Ghost also is really good for morale build specifically. So it's the Dark Magus and the Gargoyle. I really like this passive on the Gargoyle. Stacking Demoralize. Yeah, it'll do more than the Dark Magus. And is a bit more tanky. And then Ghost on the back line. So I have a feeling that we beat them in this room, but it's kind of tricky since this guy takes less morale damage. So it's basically like he has 1,000 morale, but we might be able to just kill him in here if he is still around by that point. He's got lowered air resistance, which is what the Ghost is doing anyway. So yeah. Double down, boom. Then Bone Catapult. And then we can scare them away with the Master if they're still around. I think we got them. Yeah. Good stuff. They got the Enrage though, and so they get Enraged 6. Which means that then they are just gonna one-shot stuff. Yeah. That's kind of rough. 117 damage. Oh, but we get random bonuses over here. So what did we get? We got a shell on everyone. The werewolf rolled shell randomly twice, so he is shell 6. It's only okay. Shell is one of those debuff or buffs apparently that doesn't stack with the or like increase with the amount of stacks. So it's always damage taken from attack is reduced by 20, no matter how many stacks is on it. It just signifies the amount of turns that it sticks around. So that's kind of unlucky really, because he's not going to stay alive for 6 turns. 20 here. Thorns is nice. More haste. He was already fastest, and we got an enraged on the troll. And enhanced armor, which is perfect when he's up against the berserker, so he might last for a few rounds. Look at that, 75% armor. Of course, this guy has armor breaking, but it'll still take him a few more turns to chew through. I think we'll do the war drum then. I mean, that was what I was going to do anyway, but now, since the orc and the werewolf will stick around for a while, they will be able to make good use of that extra enrage. And then we are still focusing the morale for them. Now comes their turns. Oh, okay, maybe the orc. Oh, I forgot about the fire thing, right? So lucky for him, he rolled the armor, but he was already weak to the fire. So he's not gonna last. 75% armor against 75. 78 physical damage incoming here. He might actually survive the strike. Yeah, I think he will survive the strike from the guy still. There's also the shell. So yes, good stuff. But he's not going to get another turn because the fire guy goes before him. Look at that 10k though, that's nice. And it sucks because the fire thing here ricochets to the next in line no matter whether he still survives or not. So it was completely redundant. But hopefully the werewolf gets another shot. No. Okay. That's bad. We have to do Goblin Horde here because we've got the... Oh no, I messed up. Haha. They get terrified in here, but they'll get rid of Demoralized before they get hit by the trap. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Because they proc the Demoralized before... Oh no. I goofed. Yeah, so they get rid of the Demoralized, which means they don't... Then the pile of bones doesn't ricochet to the other heroes. Okay then. We got random bonuses in here. We've got Thorns, Haste, extra shell. Why didn't this guy get shell? He got no shells at all. This guy rolled double shell as well. Jesus. Okay. And haste is kind of useless. We want to get rid of this guy with the morale, but I think 30 morale to the front here, modified by terrified, and demoralized on top of that. I don't think that he gets a turn. Oh, but the other thing we can do is hit him, so that doesn't matter. Okay, we're gonna do the area attack then. So we can make the barbarian run right now. 46 morale. Or focus the backline. You are going to do what? Fire damage or physical damage to the front and morale damage. And you have fire resistance a little bit. Why doesn't it... Oh, it doesn't do morale damage, it only does normal damage, yeah. Let me think. If we don't do this here, then the Berserker gets an attack, and I don't want that, so I will scare him. And he should be out then. We still have to hit him with a stupid demon. Dang it. Okay, well then he's definitely out. Oh, and then they lose 20% of their maximum morale. I keep forgetting about that mechanic. That makes it so that we can better keep them down, I guess. Are we still going for morale then? Yeah. Scare or Spectral Wave. Stacking Demoralize is always stronger. Okay. And you shoot at the back, you shoot at the front. We might get another turn here with the demon. I think we still just go for the morale here and double down on that. So we go for the one that deals the most. Using the ghost there. Oh, he went down. Damn it. Okay. Then it's over. We've got this though. The master will scare them away. No problem. We're gonna take some damage though. I don't think he gets a turn. With the demoralize, he's gonna be out. This guy. Yeah, good. And then he or Alana is a female name, so she takes 20% of her maximum morale. Scare her. Maybe I should punch her. It's gonna be quicker. But I need the tears. She takes less damage from that, but I think I can sustain it. And we really need the tears, so I will go for it. It's only one more turn, I think. 30 damage. Yeah, then she's gone. Good. Nice. This time we will take the gold. We don't need another skeleton soldier, and we already have a bone catapult. We don't need two, I think. Could have redundancy, but I'll go for the gold. Good. 990 gold. I forget whether traps can even be upgraded beyond level 3. There's the engineer. We can. Oh, there's a trainer coming up. So we go collectors, then trainer. Then we can really train a lot of monsters here. Yeah. So, except we will lose some life here to the collectors, and then we will go to the trainer here. But before you go to the trainer, you should always remember to put your units that you want to train into rooms, because otherwise they can't train. So we gotta figure out right now which ones we want to focus on. I don't think the skeletons. We've got demon and creature combo mostly. So that's one thing. Here's a creature that I really want to level, and I guess the boar man. The satyr. I really want to level up the satyr. Then we can take something else out. Maybe I don't need to level the vampire anymore, but it would also be cool. I don't really like the Yeti. He doesn't really combo with our build and such. So then I think The Boar Man takes priority. And that's good enough. Yeah. Unlikely that I will be able to afford everything that I want anyway. Good. We gotta level the Goblin Drummer so he gets a little bit more tanky. Passive. Damage dealt is increased by 100% if target's air resistance is negative. Okay. That's a very small upgrade for 160. Let's start elsewhere. The Orc Sorcerer, he just gets more health, which is also important for him. 340. X. Yeah. So for the record, you can apparently level them beyond level 3. I didn't really remember. You absolutely can. So here, you could go for it. I should get my level 1s up to level 2 for anything else. The Ghost, for example, I really want to level that one up. Oh, that's a lot of upgrades on this demon. The demon, the Nightmare here, also being a modded creature. He's more balanced than the dragon, but I feel like he's a little bit stronger than the average creature. Here's the passive that we can get on the Magus, which is really cool. It applies elemental weakness to all heroes when the Magus is defeated. I remember that incorrectly. I thought it was demoralized when he died. Elemental weakness is kind of interesting. That's not really what we are going for or comboing with. It's mostly we do bleed and we do morale and we do physical damage. Fire, we do fire, so we could. The cool thing is that he does it when he's defeated, so you can always proc it. Oh, the Satyr. All demons of the group gain enhanced resistance at the start of a fight. Oh. Sold. We're down to 600. Having the Vampire get really strong could also be good. I think we gotta get the Goblin Drummer 1 level, and I also kind of want to level the Succubus so she doesn't feel so useless. And then I should stop. We are below 300 gold. I can't afford the Vampire. I forgot what's coming up after this. I will say no. Right, because there's a course, and the course is nice. You get 2 levels on a monster for a reduced amount of gold, or a large amount of gold, but it's cheaper than leveling them twice. Except and then they do have to go away for 8 weeks. But the Goblin Drummer at level 4 sounds cool. We'll do it. And then we got another invasion coming in. So let's take out the wounded ones, or the less motivated ones, and then make another creature room and another. I think we should switch it around. The demon room up here, and then the creature room in the back, because the creatures do bleed, and we want the bleed closer to the master. Like that. Is that it? Okay, we are running sort of low. Oh, we have another creature there. Then Rodgilere gets to join. Oh, right, I forgot that they're named after our Twitch viewers. That's kind of cool. Not all of them. Kitchen here is, though. Since we're doing burn up front, we could add in the burning skeleton. And then I think this is a decent enough setup. We could put in the skeleton dog here. It's also a bleed unit. We'll see. Go for it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not sure what that would be. So, one of the sides gets resistances increased by 20%. Alright, so if you go for bleeding, it won't affect us too much. We could go for the morale again, which would be nice. What do we have here? We have nature area, nature damage. And damage and morale taken from traps reduced, okay. Then air damage to the back with tiredness again, and can't be demoralized. Okay, that's kind of bad for us. And he also heals morale again. And then we have nature damage to the back with elemental weakness, and she heals a hero by 50%. Oh, we have a vote. Thank you, Rodgaleri. And welcome back to the stream, sir. That's nice. Okay. Oh, wait, what? What happened? Oh, here. Pff, I lost track. Initial duration of penalties received decreased by 1 turn with a minimum of 1. This is kind of, this passive here is something that I continually forget about. Like, it's pretty good for them, and I always, like, forget about it, and then and it probably helps them way more than I give it credit for. So we've got our other room up front. Oh, and this one can apply fire weakness, so we could do a fire room in here. Fire. Ah, he has negative armor. The attacks of the succubus ricochet to the hero position behind the target if the target's armor is positive, right? And since he has negative armor, it'll only hit him. So the succubus is not good in that case. Too bad. But then fire. Oh, it's a skeleton though. It's gonna be tricky to do a demon room with only fire, but we could do fire. And Satyr combos with a little bit of both. And then... oh, but we could do more fire weakness here. Fire weakness doesn't really stack though. It increases the amount of turns, but not the effect. I think we go the rallying horn here. Yeah. Fire weakness, or yeah. Can I scare these guys away? I don't think so. The not getting demoralized is very bad for us. And that's a lot of morale. Okay, so area nature and nature to the back, and then air to the back. Oh, so we don't have anyone hitting the front. Who do we have that have nature resistance? Oh, we have one, and it's the frontliner. Great. And it's a skeleton, so then we don't get the totem of strength if I deploy the skeletons. But maybe we do have to do that. Do we have anyone with air resistance? $25, $20, minus $35, $40. Ah, he has low nature resistance though. I think I deploy the skeleton. I don't like this. Let me think. He's got low armor. We only have one guy that does armor damage. That would be you. And then we have... you have air weakness. Air resistance but nature weakness. Air resistance but nature weakness. And low health, by the way. Damn it. The skeleton makers kind of works out. And then we can go for the fire combo. Maybe. Do you even get a turn? Oh yeah, he does get a turn. This skeleton makers does get a turn. Then I think he dies. Because he will already have taken some damage from the ninja here. And then it certainly dies to the herbalist. But if it can tank the herbalist shot, I'm okay with it. So let me make sure that he does get that. We get troll beer. Yeah, because everyone has full motivation. Good, and then we don't get the totem of strength, but we do get we get what? What's it called? Ah, the resistance of here, I knew I was forgetting something. So that's actually gonna help us well against all of the things. Very good. Francisco, welcome to the stream. Francisco Burita. What did I miss? I beat one dungeon so far, and then not much else. I leveled some guys. But now we are in the second dungeon here. And it's looking tough. We have nature, area nature, air to the back, and nature to the back, also applying elemental weakness. I think this is the best setup I can do right here. And we'll try to murder this guy real... I think we can actually almost, if not entirely, kill the ninja in the first room. And that would be a big boon. But if we don't, then she will heal him for 50% of his health. So, that's still fine. When they do have a healer like that, you either want to spread the damage completely evenly, so she only heals one of them, or damage him at least more than 50% so that you get some damage to stick. I still think, with a bit of luck, we can kill him. Especially because we have the setup here with the fire weakness. And then in here we will do... Oh! This does damage to him too. So yes, we'll do it like that. Okay. I'm not sure. That's a good idea. But here we go. So then we're looking for nature resistance. We don't have it. We have it on the werewolf. I think we are deploying... You have air resistance 50%. You go first, because no one's hitting the front. So he will last the longest by standing in the front. Then we will need whatever can tank those other guys hitting the backliner to stand in the last two spots. I think the werewolf winning here with the resistances, also good health, and then the boar man as the second one. So like this. Air, damage to the back. Let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything here. I don't think we are. It's gonna be fine. Oh, the vampire has even better resistances. I wish he should heal a little bit for hitting bleeding creatures, right? That would make sense. This is a bleed combo. Yeah, and boom, boom, boom. Yep. Which one of these are better? They kind of do the same. The werewolf is a little bit more tanky, but has negative resistances. In air, specifically. So I think this is better. Yeah. I have a feeling that we win in this room. But we are gonna, of course, give them a good old circular saw in here just before the boss fight. That's kind of perfect. And then we would definitely beat them here. So, do I do the heat wave? We do have 2 fire units in here. It probably is worth it. Also 30 fire damage, yeah. Good. The sound is off. Okay, there a little bit of delay on the sound, whatever. Okay, and we are focusing down the frontliner. Ooh, look at that damage! He's got minus 65 fire damage. Yeah, fire column. He's so dead. Ooh, 129. And he survives that hit. Oh, he so tanks both. We got the shell on him, of course. Very nice. And then with the enhanced resistance... Why are we enraged? Oh, from the rallying horn. Blah. Okay. Both of them kills him. Is there a difference then? I don't think so. So, murder. Bam. Good stuff. Then the next in line here has minus 30 fire resistance, and she has minus 5. So this is the one we're hitting. It's also the better one. Alright. Or we could demoralize them. No. Good. Then we lose the backliner. We have the Nightbreaker or the Soul Rend, which is better. He has the lowest fire resistance. You can, in fact, you can like see it on the HP bar how much it takes away. And it is the Soul Rend. Even though the physical damage here is way higher and applies elemental weakness, he doesn't get another turn to use the elemental weakness. And this one also applies burn for 2 turns, which is percentage damage. So yes, Soul Rend. Good. We will die here. Oh. They did really well, the first room. There we go, though. Then what? We have a spell coming in. They don't have fire weakness anymore, no. We can enrage the next group of monsters even more. Or we can do the Burning Whip to just... Oh, he was healed by her, of course. She used her skill to heal him. That's why he has so much health. Alright. A little bit of damage, or show no mercy for enrage. I think we go for the damage. What do we have here? They do pretty high damage. Physical and air. Oh, he has high air resistance. Oh, I did not think that through. Oh, he can do physical damage with his spreading bleed thing. And he does physical damage with the spreading bleed thing. So that's perfect. Okay, he's got 25% armor though. Francisco says, comment in your last script dance when you are gonna play League of Legends Keepers and check the notification button. See you live stream the game. I'm happy to oblige. It is fate. I can't make up my mind. It's either show no mercy or enraged. Burning Whip. I think I said it wrong, but whatever. Bloodbath or Bloody Assault. Spreads the stacks of bleeding applied to the hero position by the target, or this one does more damage per stack of bleeding, but he's got really high air resistance. So we are doing this one, also spreading the bleed. It did not spread the bleed. Are you immune to bleed? Ah! Oh, I didn't know. No, that doesn't make sense. Initial duration of penalties received decreased by 1 turn. And she was about to receive 1, so then I would think that she didn't get it because of that. But it says with a minimum of 1. So she should have taken 1 bleed damage here. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. Huh. Well, now this should spread bleed stacks to the backliner. 2 bleed should go on to her here. Yeah. Okay. Interesting that it got to 0 before. And Kane's Flame or Kane's Revenge, we can transform our units. That's not what we want to do right now. Just blast them. Poor vampire being focused down. Does he get another turn? Oh, he probably won't. He got taken precisely below 50%. Too bad, man. Yeah. So unless we can kill the frontliner here. Oh, we might. Oh, so close. 16 health remaining. So, and he's got 2 health remaining. Wow. So, King's Revenge. Transform the group of monsters into random skeletons. I think that we are going to do this to save the vampire. I think it will make it so that he is not considered dead until that skeleton that he's transformed into will then dies. So we're definitely beating them in this room as it is, but this could screw me over, I suppose. I think this was fine. He's got 16 health, he's gonna die to the bleeding. Let's just do the area damage. And we are doing fireball to the back here. Ah, then she one-shots the skeletons. Damn it. Okay, so doing the transformation was not the right call. We are gonna maybe even lose here because of that. Whoops. Kill her! Yeah, okay. Okay, now we're hitting her hard. Come on, kill her! Ah, does she get a shot off? Yeah, she didn't. Ah. Bruma says, nice move. Yeah, but that one hit it depended on what skeletons that they turned into, right? And so I think the skeleton dog that it turned into is specifically very nature weak, and so bad luck. But we saved the rest, so the result sort of was the same as if the vampire got knocked out. We can upgrade Enslavement, which I think is good here. The Flying Dagger is also nice because we're already doing Bleed combo. It's kind of plays into that. Especially applying 3 bleed to the front line is really good for the vampire and the werewolf. They spread the bleeds to other units. So that's actually a really, really good trap for us. Except it's level 1, so I need to spend like 400, 500 gold-ish to get it to level 3. And upgrading the slaveholder is so good. Whoops. We do need to have like 1 more trap or something like that, because you can lose traps to events and stuff. And we didn't really have redundancy in here. We have 6 now. Yeah. Okay. We got through it. And the vampire is not considered knocked out then. Is that so? So there's a little extra thing about the orc sorcerer here. When he transforms groups of monsters into random skeletons, you can prevent them from being knocked out. No, but I swear there's some inconsistencies going on here. Look at that. So this is not the first time this happens, but the orc sorcerer here did not lose any motivation at all from being knocked out. And so then we ask, why is that? Is that a talent that I have or something like that? Might be. Hold on. Let me see if I can explain this somehow. I care a lot about understanding what's going on. So let's try to figure out, why did my demon here not lose motivation? Do I have something in here? Oh, when a hero is killed by a monster, there's 20% chance that the group of monsters gain enraged 3. Yeah, nice. Training price reduced. Oh, that's why the prices are sort of skewered and not what I remembered. We have price reduction. No, I don't have any. We have this one here that works with motivation, but that's why while they're resting, doesn't relate to anything. So what I'm thinking is that unless it's something else, it's because this is a modded monster and there might be something ongoing with that. I think it's happened with the demon before, that it didn't lose he loses then he doesn't lose motivation for whatever reason. I think it might be the coding with the modded unit. So yeah, we learned after transformation your monsters lose morale, and then yeah, I'm gonna test that again, but from what we learned here, it seems like we can prevent my monsters from losing motivation by turning them into other monsters. And I would have thought that then since it's that monster being turned into another monster, so if that monster got knocked out, you would think that then that counted as him being defeated, right? But apparently not. For the purpose of the game mechanic, I think it's considered to be an entirely different unit, and so that's why it's happening. I was also worried that transforming them would mean that they all got considered defeated because they were basically taken out of the fight. But that's not what's happening. That makes the Orc Sorcerer like insanely good. Because even if you know that you're gonna lose the second room, you can just like maybe go 1 or 2 rounds in the second room, and then make sure that none of your guys lose motivation, which is a big deal, by turning them all into different monsters. And then So even if you know that you're just gonna lose in there, you just turn everything into something else, and then you're not taking any penalties, and then you hope that your master... You should only do it if you know that your master can then win the fight after. Alright, enough talk. Let's do an event. Lucky me. Regarding the bet you placed and won on a boar race a while back. Look at that, it's referencing an earlier thing. A hulking, shifty troll has come to demand you return his cash. You could also have one of your employees get beaten up instead. What's happening? I can fight him? Or I can pay money or send my guy. If I fight him, I get 15 blood. Why would I ever do any of the other ones? Am I missing something here? Oh, we lose life. I see. So I can lose 75 life, but gain 15 blood. Or pay, or send in my Yeti here, and he loses 1 motivation, which I really don't care about. But of course, gaining something from it would be the better play, except if we go so low that we then die in the next dungeon. I don't think I'm at a risk. We've got pretty good monsters all around, so I'm gonna take the risk and then just... We have so much blood. I've never had this much blood stacked up. I don't actually know how we're gonna get rid of that. But we're gonna try to figure out something. Merchant, siege, or event. Siege is cool, and we could do the siege. Siege is where you lend your traps to a war or something like that somewhere, and then you get money. So you can make money off of your traps. Kind of like a business trip for your traps. If you could... Yeah, that's technically true. The company needs some equipment. Rent out some traps. We're gonna do it. That's why I took an extra trap, is to have some redundancy so that we could do stuff like this. And now we can take this one over here, and we are loaning out the Flying Dagger, which is low level, and the Rallying Horn. We are gonna not have the Rallying Horn for a while, but we get 349 gold. That's a lot. So do that. Look at my money and despair. Oh, we got a champion fight coming up, though. Okie dokie. So we can do engineer or event. With the engineer, we could level the traps that we have then, which I think is a good idea. And then we get money in the black market. Like I promised, we are going to sell the dragon. So we are going to get rid of him and get a little bit of money from him. Engineer. Yeah. And now we can't level that new trap, unfortunately. So we will have to level what we've got. I could level the oil cauldron once, yeah, and then I really want to level the circular saw. And then I think we're spending all money here, so either the buy the bones or the bone catapult. The pile of bones does so much damage if the conditions for it are met, and it can be kind of tricky to set it up. Like I screwed it up before earlier in this episode, right? So I'm gonna go for the bone catapult, which is just more consistent, and stacking more demoralize gives really good returns. So like exponential returns, which is nice. Black market, we are gonna be selling some stuff. Let me pull out the skeletons that are also kind of up for sale. And you know what? You should always... I hate that you have to put them in garrison, because why would I not just do this every time? It just puts micromanagement on the player that seems redundant. Anyway. But it's because there's not room for everything in here. So then it's randomized which 12 units then get put into the black market, because we have more than 12 in here. Yeah. Okay, but we do get to sell the dragon. Oh, and only get to sell one. No, you can mark multiples. Right. Never mind. I don't know that I was going to sell anything else. So we've got a champion fight coming up. Alright. Now we got to bring our A-game. We are going to make a demon front room and then a bleed creature second room. Like before. I think that's the best strategy we could deploy. Let's try to set it up. Demon front room here. Okay, that was easy done. We can get that better with the Dark Makers in here. Any other demons? No. Okay, but that was easy. Nice. The time has come. Yes, champion fights are cool. And scary. Do not underestimate champions in this game. Some of them are easier than others, but if you find a champion or draw a champion that specifically counters your build, it's just GG, basically. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I think we've got a really strong game here, so I feel like we should be okay. Knock on wood. And we've got 2 full rooms with creatures that are full motivation. And we use all of our, this is entirely demons, which means we get to use the artifact for that, and entirely creatures. We've got so many things ongoing here that just builds up to a really, really strong, probably one of my strongest builds so far, actually. So it feels good. And we got Siegfried again. No, he's not the champion. So I think this is the modded hero that I have added to the game, and he's a little bit stronger than the standard hero, so we procced him. And we got the fire champion, which, like I said just before, fire is our biggest weakness. But we've beaten this guy once before, we can do it again. This is the same champion that we had in the middle of the year. But now he's higher level, so he's stronger. Oh boy, okay, but he has the cool new abilities here that applies burn to monsters who deal damage to him, which is pretty rough, and then the attack regenerates his attack that he attacks. Then if he hits a unit that is already burning, he heals 10% of his maximum life. Is that right? Yeah, of his maximum life if the target affected is burning, so not relating to the damage that he is dealing. So he will heal, 64, probably 65 damage every time he hits a unit that it has burn. So and he's attacking the backline only. So we gotta make sure that the backliner doesn't hit him first to then get burn. Okay. Then we've got a frontliner that also does fire damage, and Siegfried does ice damage to the front, but applies elemental weakness, removes penalty with the most stacks, and cannot be demoralized. Okay. He's got fire weakness, but the other two have really high fire resistance. And this is the first room. One of the sides will get the thorns, which is kind of rough if they get it as well. We really need a strong fire unit on the back line, and I think that'll be the Nightmare. Yeah, oh, and he shouldn't be hit by Siegfried, by the way. 61 ice damage here is kind of insane. We could go with the Satyr up front. Let me make sure that I don't screw this up. We've got Siegfried with positive armor, but then the next guy has negative armor. So what that means is that the Succubus, if I use it, its attack will hit the frontliner and then ricochet to the next guy in line. So we can hit 2 units with you. But you would get one-shotted by Siegfried. So I don't want you as the frontliner. Fire weakness, but the thing is, if something has fire weakness, it will almost always have ice resistance and vice versa. So we can't defend against both these frontline attacks. It's just not possible. So then she does way less fire damage than this guy does ice damage. So we should get an ice resistant unit up front. And the Satyr is 50%. So then it goes Fire guy first, which won't kill the Satyr, and then it comes in with Ice guy, who will probably honestly not kill the Satyr either. All demons of the group get enhanced resistance at the start of a fight. Perfect. Precisely what we need. Okay. Super good. Then, next up is to figure out what we have in the center of the Nightmare. Will go in the back line. I think I'm leaning towards the succubus. Nature resistance 10. And okay, we could go with the nature attack with her. So like this. Yeah. Or we could have the gargoyle in the middle. And then you would do air damage to the front, which he's also weak to. Okay. Minus 30 fire resistance though. But the satyr will open. Next time that's the satyr's turn, we really want it to be able to move some penalties to other heroes. Like hitting the frontliner spreads 2 stack of penalties to the target, to the heroes positioned behind the target. So whatever penalties we apply to Siegfried in the first turn, in the second turn we can then push them to the other heroes. So we want, like poison can do it, and the demon here does something. Could do it with bleeding as well. That might be okay. That might be better, because then we can start stacking bleeding early on. Bleeding instead of the poison from here. I think is the better solution. The stress of the boss. Oh, you're Bruma, you're Spanish. I know this. Yeah. It's called. It's pronounced. I had a Spanish girlfriend once who explained this to me. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that means you're a Spanish-speaking fella, which is fine. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you were already here. I think this is the right setup for the first room. But it feels good. I'm still nervous. Then we double down with the circle soul. Now we've committed to do some bleeding already. Then we stack the bleeding on, and that would mean that the bleeding is still active. We can also do bleeding in here. Yeah. But then we do what in here? Oh, fire damage to the front is perfect. Okay. And then full bleed combo in the front room here. So we have so much fire weakness. It's bad. Oh, the sorcerer has fire resistance. Is that so? But he does area attacks, which means that when I use him, he will start burning, and then if he gets hit by the champion, then the champion will heal. And so I'm pretty sure that that's actually really bad. It's gonna be tricky no matter how we go about it. I don't really know. Like, one way to do it was to... I'm hoping that we get to stack bleed so high, and then we can push the bleeds to the mid guy and kill him in this fight, and then push all that bleed onto the pyromancer and then kill him with the bleed. Like, that would be the way to do it. That would work. But I'm also really worried that that we won't get that far. I don't know what to do here. I think, okay, here's my main idea. That would be something like this, right? Except everything here is super fire weak. So the pyromancer is gonna have a field day with this. But we will stack a lot of bleed right quick. And is that enough? Another thing is that they all do physical damage, these guys, and he probably he has decent armor. If we did the sorcerer, Victor the Vampire. Fun. Victor the Vampire, and then the Orc Sorcerer in the back. Then the backline lasts longer, but will apply the burn. He goes after the Pyromancer. So on the second turn, the Pyromancer will start healing. At some point, we will transform all of the group into different monsters, which is kind of a good thing. And then this is also a bleed combo, because the skeletons that they come back to life as they apply bleed, so it works out really well. Now I'm thinking that maybe this is better. For the orc, gives 2 bleeding, which is nice. That werewolf doesn't actually do any bleeding, but spreads bleeding to the next in line, and that, like, so as long as I keep stacking more bleeding on the front line with the vampire, and that's it, then we can push more bleed, keep pushing bleed, so that means that the princess will bleed a whole lot, and then when... I think this is the best version. Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry, Francisco. I hope everything is alright in your end. Technical issues. I got a real bad scare today. When I opened my computer, it didn't start. It wanted to, it went into this blue screen mode, where it's not like the blue screen of death, but like where it was doing some update, and every time it restarted, it just kept going back to that same HP update, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. But at some point it just kept restarting and doing some update thing, and then doing the same thing, and then at some point it stopped doing it and started up for real, and I just thought, okay, well, that's the end of the YouTube channel. If my computer dies, then then I can't do anything. So everything's fine. It worked out. But I was scared and it took an hour or so. Yeah. I still don't know what it was doing. This is kind of an interesting room here, because most likely Secret is dead at this point, right? And so the other 2 guys that are left, they have high fire resistance, and we don't do anything with fire after this, so applying fire weakness seems completely redundant. Pile of bones won't do anything because the front line can't be demoralized, and the next, I mean, they unlikely that they'll be demoralized here, so the bone catapult is the only thing that we have left that really does anything. Ask Me Later says you can borrow my laptop. Thank you. I don't think your laptop can play all my games, but I'll take that into consideration. I mean, everything's fine, so let's attack that issue if it ever comes down to it. Alright. Here we go. We got the thorns from the vote, and there's a lot of randomized effects here. So we get we proc the Trobier in every room, giving shell to all my guys. Then we proc the Totem of Strength in every room, gaining 2 random bonuses at the start of each fight if they all share the same type. Yes. And this guy gives us enhanced resistance. So look at all. This is the first time I'm like doing a thing where I get all these kinds of weird random bonuses at the start, which is super cool. We got Enraged on the Satyr. We got Thorns then from the vote, and the Gargoyle rolled Thorns and also rolled Shell. And I think this guy must have rolled a Shell and also rolled Thorns again. The Thorns are really good, by the way. So that's really good. Very nice. Alright. Now, the enemies don't have any debuffs, so the Satyr's spreading stacks here doesn't do anything, but it can do some damage to the frontliner, and that's fine. And it applied Terrified. Some delayed sound effects here, alright. Sharp horns on the front line, yes. Oh, it's got 2-point hospital? You know what, I've never played that game. That's fine. If my computer dies, I'll start a YouTube series on your laptop, Ask Me Later, playing 2-point hospital. That sounds fun. Alright, I think we're doing fire damage and burn to Siegfried here. That makes sense in my head. Or elemental weakness. Do we do a lot of elemental damage? No. So we'll do the Soul Rend. Good. And then, now Confusion does good stuff for us. Look at this. All these buffs here will be spread to the other heroes. Debuffs. Oh, and it even increases the debuffs on those that were only 1. This is perfect. Yeah, we are countering these guys really well. Okay, that's the end of the satyr. Kill Siegfried. What? One of his animations is he's clearly based on the berserkers or barbarians, and so when one of his animations, I think it's his attack animation, he just shortly turns into a berserker for a sec there. It's kind of cool. Here's something interesting. Am I gonna kill him? Do I want to kill him? We were kind of hoping to spread all his bleed stacks to other heroes, and if I kill him here, then that won't happen. I can't not kill him. Oh, I can. I can do the Nightbreaker. Here we give him 4 more bleeding. So he's going to come in here with 3 bleeding, then go up to 7. 6, come in here and start the combat with 6 bleeding that we can spread to the next in line. I think that's important. So I'm gonna not kill him where we could. He might still die. Oh yeah, okay, he still died. Never mind. Yeah, okay. I mean, I do want to play 2-Point Hospital. I loved the theme Hospital. I don't own it though. You gotta share your Steam account with me, Mr. Ask Me Later. Oh, look at how damaged these guys already are. Why are they so damaged? I didn't even notice. Great. This seems kind of silly though, doing fire damage to this 60 fire damage guy, so I think we're just gonna enrage the next group, and I think we are about to like murder these guys. Oh yeah. Oh, she died to the thorns. You're kidding me. That's why they're taking so much damage. This thorns thing. Amazing. Alright, I mean... Yeah, I'll take it. So, Bloodbath is better here, because now there's no point in spreading bleeding stacks to units behind. Do you have high air resistance or something? No. So then Bloodbath is just better. Murder. And if I attack him here, the sorcerer will get burned, and then he will heal when hitting the sorcerer. I don't think though that that's cause for doing the Kane's Revenge instead, because no one will die here. I think. Oh, in fact, he doesn't get a turn. Never mind. You got a tooth pulled. Oh god. Well, have a good night's sleep. Eat a painkiller. Okay. Enchanted Corks. All traps gain enhanced trap 1. That's an artifact. Is there an artifact that I would like? See, again, this is something that I complain about every episode, but why can I not check my things here? I don't remember every one of my other artifacts. But let me try. I think... Do we have at least one trap or artifact that we aren't really using? Because this is a really good one. The other things that we can get are then the lure, which... Oh, this one says multi-action 1. Enhanced trap means damage still is increased by 1. I thought it was I thought that was the multi-action thing. Oh no, that's not the same. Double damage stealth. But the traps that I do are usually more focused on applying a certain debuff than doing damage. And that's one thing. And this one says damage dealt increased. Usually effects that affect both damage and morale. Well, it says damage and morale and not just damage. Like enraged specifically. So since it doesn't combo with all that, then no. Lure is really good. Applies multi-action 1 to the next trap. And then the Orc Sorcerer, of course, is really good. We've seen that. We can have 2 Orc Sorcerers in a group. Does that make sense? To have redundancy in Orc Sorcerers. I don't know. I think it kind of does, but I don't think it makes sense to have 2 of them in the same room. Monster skill come back to life as a skeleton warrior, yeah, but then they cannot do it again. And when you transform them all into a different monster, that applies to both sorcerers. This is a tough choice. Honestly, if there was a gold choice here, I might have gone for that instead. But the lure is really good, because you can multi-action a really good trap. You can basically level one trap really high and just multi-action that one. And I don't know if you can get... at level 3 I think it gets multi-action 2, so the next trap triggers 3 times. And if you do that with a bleed trap and then come into a bleed room, so then the heroes will come into a room with 12 bleeds on all 3 heroes, and then you... start spreading the bleed stacks around, that's where the bleed combo gets entirely insane. So we're gonna get the lure. Oh.
Good work. We'd like to offer you a promotion.
Continue. Oh, okay, press space or enter. Oh, that's it. Okay, I thought she had more to say. Let me pour my coffee. Oh, that was quick. So, now we have something... I don't think I've ever shown that on the YouTube channel yet, because with the other run that I did with the slaveholder died before we ever got to this point. So what happens at the end of the first year is that you get a promotion. We saw that with the Enchantress, but here it's for the slaveholder you get a boss monster, and this one will always it's an intern in the organization. This room specifically will always be just before the slaveholder, which is cool. And there's 3 different ones. We have the Mermaid Matriarch, and so they've been reworked. Okay, so I don't actually know what they do. She does physical damage and bleeding to the backliner, or nature damage area attack with morale and demoralize. Attacks deal 30% additional damage per 25 morale missing from the target. Okay, I don't know if she was really reworked. I don't remember her that well though. She's cool, but she's somewhat weak. Then the next in line, the Colossal Hydra, is the strongest unit and most tanky one of them. But the thing about him, he can do bleeding, nature and poison. He can do fire damage, but he cannot affect morale at all, right? And so he's very focused. He's pretty strong and can do a lot of damage, but cannot affect morale at all. So it's like a commitment to going away from the morale build. And then finally we have the Father of the Damned. I don't think I've used him before. So he does ice damage and lowers morale, applies frostbite. Then he comes in with air and lowers morale and applies terrified. Morale taken from attacks and traps increased by 50%. That's pretty good. And gains 1 enraged for each hero whose morale is under 50% at the start of his turn. So a super commitment to the morale build, right? Because if you can get heroes underneath 50% morale at the start of his turn, he will gain enraged 1 for each. But then he's the weakest one of the 3, so he won't last more than 1 or 2 turns, right? All heroes will be attacking him every turn, so 200 health is gonna go right quick. They usually these 2 get 1 turn, the Hydra usually gets 2 turns, maybe 3. It depends on what heroes live to the boss room here, of course. It's nice to get one of those that focus on morale to an extent, but then the Hydra really doubles down on doing actual damage. Any votes? I'll take votes. I don't actually know what would be best for our build. I've never done this guy, and I think with the new morale system, getting them below 50% morale, and that's something we need to do more if we want to get more tiers. We should try to do more morale stuff, and then this guy's perfect. Is he really better than the Matriarch for morale? She applies Demoralized, which is super good. And then her thing is that she does more damage when they're below morale, which if you're doing a full morale build, that's not what you want. You want to do more morale damage, which Enraged works on both damage and morale. So he's like more, he's the full morale commitment. So I guess just to finally try him out, he's also got the highest speed, so he will always get an action. Sometimes, even the Colossal Hydra, sometimes he does not get a single action, believe it or not. So he will always, he's got the highest speed I've seen in the game, so he will always get an action, which is really nice. Yeah. Yeah. The Father of the Damned, so he's here. And we can level him in different ways later down the line, which is cool. We can do a workout here, should. Again, we're missing tiers, but we can do the other ones. We can gain extra regeneration, which is good. We are always sort of a little bit low on life. Oh, it applied 5 immediately for that week. Oh, and by the way, power. There was a note in the patch notes about they said that they'd fixed stats not showing up correctly on the screen. But my power has still stayed at 80 throughout the thing, where life and motivation here just went up. Power still does either it doesn't increase, or or it doesn't show accurately, which I'm hoping is the case, because I've definitely increased power below 80, and it continues to not show that here for whatever reason. All right. Merchant, Engineer, and Event. We don't have enough money to go to either of these. Oh, that's not true, and I really want to level that lure before the end of the year, so I think that could be the right choice here. We're about to get a ton of money at the Alchemist. So let's level the lure. It needs to be leveled twice before it increases the multi-action. No, apparently it needs to be leveled 3 times before it gets extra multi-action, if that is ever even possible anymore, or it might not be. Alright, Alchemist. Here we can turn blood into tears and tears into blood, or blood and tears into gold. So we're definitely gonna start transmuting some blood into tears. Now, not too much. We can commit to getting more tears by doing some proper morale runs, and then they will equalize a little bit. I think we are doing transmute into gold twice. And we still have 92 to 34. I think we'll do one more conversion here. There's such a thing as an overcommitment here, so we just did a workout, so I think we can do a little bit more transmutation into gold, which we will need. Yeah. Okay. Then an event. Cleaning accident. While dusting the dungeon, the cleaning goblin has freed a monster caught in a spider's web. He also accidentally woke up a giant spider queen, who demands compensation for the destruction of her webs. Minus 81 life by choosing to fight. What? And what is this guy doing here? Feed. So we can feed her for 15 blood. We can take damage by doing the fight, or we can pay 100 gold to make her go away. Why is the boar man here? Oh, he might be the cleaning goblin or something like that. I'm gonna fight it. I mean, we have full health and we'll recover that right quick, so it's fine. It's week 4. By the end of the year, we should strive to have maximum health, obviously, because that's gonna be the toughest fight of our career. Fight. Yeah, just a little bit of health. 10% of my life, actually, precisely 10% of health. It's probably that it does 10% damage then, because that's almost too coincidental to not be the case. And of course we're doing the veterans. Should always go for the veterans. Let's build the runes. We're still doing pretty well here. Alright. We still have full demon up front. We want to keep that up. And that's good enough. That includes our fire combo, so throw in the fire skeleton, and then... Oh no, I see. Aha! The boarman that was showed on that screen was a monster that was freed from the cobwebs of that spider. So now we have an extra level 2 boarman. I see. Huh. You know what would be cool? Like 2 boarmen? No. I was thinking like you could do a full boarman team and then stun all the heroes, but they always stun the frontliner, so that doesn't work. But with 2, you're almost guaranteed to stun the frontliner. And the only thing then is the Yeti has really high ice resistance, so I would like to include it for that reason. But then I'm looking at the Orc Sorcerer also comes with high ice resistance. Most of our guys has that actually, so we don't need the Yeti. The Yeti's bad. Unless you're doing like a full ice build, which we're definitely not. So double boarman. Would you ever run double boarman? You know what? Because then you can try to stun with one of them, the first boarman that goes, and then if that doesn't proc, you can try again with the other boarman. And then if the first one procs the stun, you just do the other attack that breaks the armor and sets it up for future rounds where they do more damage then. So I think it's probably okay. Committed. I have a good feeling about this.
The marketing team has decided to add a resting area to our dungeons. It seemed essential to find a solution to attract seasoned adventurers more efficiently than the competition.
Oh, sorry. Boop. Oh, she didn't have more to say. Again, I thought I had a little while while she was talking to pour myself. Ah, the final glass of wine for the day. So, now we have a vote for speed, which is not the least significant buff, I think. But I suppose it could screw things up if they end up on the opposing team. So, we have area and nature damage from the ninja. Less damage taken by traps. Then they have the enchanter, which with area nature. Oh, 2 area nature attacks. Okay. And he randomly shuffles all my units. We gotta keep that in mind. This one here specifically I tend to forget when I'm setting it up and going through the whole thing. And then when we get to the first fight, they shuffle my positions, and I'm like, whoops. But if they all do area attacks, then it doesn't matter. No. We have an ice targeted at the back line, which is we gotta make sure that we have then the best. But we can't make sure. But then we put 2 good ice units in the other spots, so that one then gets shuffled over here. And all resistance is increased by 15. That's pretty rough. Dodges the effect of the first trap, and the attack hits all monsters. So he's also an area attacker, which means, in effect, that the shuffle skill will do nothing, because all of their attacks hits all enemies. And that's actually really, really good, because like when we get to the master, he's my intern, when any of them fight them, every attack they do, they're basically wasting a lot of damage by doing area attacks against a single target unit, right? So this is the best kind of hero group you can get, because they can basically never beat the master. It's almost impossible. It's not wine, it's the blood of adventurers, that is true. I'm not a vampire. It's a reference to Magicka, if you don't know. There's an old game called Magicka where there's a guy, the storyteller, the narrator is called Vlad, and he continually says that he's not a vampire, despite all the time you find him drinking people's blood and stuff. But he insists, I think, that he's not a vampire. Okay, focus on the thing. We've got everyone does area attacks, so it doesn't matter where I position my heroes. It's only about we need nature resistance and we need a little bit of ice resistance. Who do we have that have nature resistance then? No one. Great. Everyone is nature weak. Fun. So then, next in line is to think about what kind of damage we want to do. This guy has negative fire resistance. They all do. Okay, so, I mean, does he have positive armor? No, so the succubus is a no-go. But you, and you. Very descriptive commentary here. We got Nightmare, Gargoyle, Ghost. Oh, it's a level 1 Gargoyle. Is the Magus better? We see here, he does air damage. You have negative air damage, that's fine. The backliner has positive. Oh, we should go for morale. I forgot. So hold on. Redo it. We are going specifically for morale as much as we can. So that would be like this. The Nightmare does good single target morale damage, where the Gargoyle does area morale damage. This is a total of what? 36 morale damage per hit, and he does 28. But with other effects, and he's way more tanky, this guy. Oh, but look at his ice resistance, it's super low. Yeah, okay. Maybe the Gargoyle is better then. We also gotta consider ice resistance. Like, the Ghost is gonna die really quickly. Like, does he even get a turn? Oh, he does get a turn because he's got good speed. Except if the if the heroes win the vote, they get pushed up above. I don't think we should play the Ghost. He's too weak. He has a good chance of dying before he even gets a turn. I guess the same for the Dark Magus. Oh, he's got really high speed though. The Nightmare has 200 health, so he will get a turn, if not 2. I am worried about this one. Oh, we'll try it out. Everyone gets a shell, and everyone gets 2 random bonuses from our other things here. I completely forget about this cursed spirit here. So we will apply 6 burn to all heroes after that fight, by the way. And Ring of Wrath. Right, I forgot about these things. Oh, we gotta consider this Fountain of Youth, the restroom that has been added to a dungeon. This is gonna be a continuing theme going forward, and it's super annoying. But we can. This one heals heroes maximum life, which is not a problem for us, since we are gonna focus for morale. This is another good reason to go for morale in this particular run. So we do morale here, then the trap. Yeah, I can't set it up so we do a pile of bones anywhere, so we could do lure and then double bone catapult. Yeah. Lure, double bone catapult. No, that's not how you do it. Do lure here, then move on. Then bone catapult here, doubling it up. Then in here we do... Oh, that's right, the ice dungeon doesn't have a morale thing. Which is such a... And I hate the ice dungeon for the slaveholder. It's super good for the enchantress. She loves the ice dungeon because she has all the elementals with the ice stuff. The slaveholder in the ice dungeon with these specific things here, like there's no morale thing and we don't have any ice units, so we can't really combo off of it. It's just so bad. It doesn't work for us at all. So then, I don't know what we're doing in here, it doesn't really matter. But then we go into the next fight here. And we needed nature resistance and ice resistance. And I think we have good luck here. The orc has both and does good morale damage. So he's a no-brainer. Then the werewolf also has both. Again, another no-brainer. And then Orc Sorcerer has ice resistance, but not nature resistance. What about the Boarman? Has negative nature resistance. Okay. And so, the vampire. None of these do morale damage, but the Orc Sorcerer can turn other monsters into other champions or units that might end up comboing with something where we can get more morale. But I'm also thinking that the Boarman with the stun can be action denial, which makes us able to do more actions with our two other morale units. So that's why we like the Boarman. So I think we're going Boarman here. Yeah. Right? The highest life. Who has the highest life? Oh. Werewolf is pretty high health. Damn. Yeah. Again, the Martyr monsters. And he, oh, he looks terrifying. Alright. I have a good feeling about this. We should get through this. No trouble at all. So we rolled some buffs here, and we're pretty unlucky with that. They roll the shell a lot, which we already get that for 2 turns for free, and the fights usually don't last more than 2 turns, so anything beyond that is kind of wasted. Then this guy rolled Enrage, this guy rolled Thorns, and you rolled Haste. Okay. And they gained the Haste, by the way, from the vote. So they are really fast now. Okay. Either area air damage with a little bit of morale, or higher morale but also applying tiredness. And tiredness is super good. It makes them do less damage, right? So... oh jeez. Do we get another turn? Oh, we only get 1 turn with the Gargoyle. Wow. We are probably gonna get 2 turns with the Nightmare here. Most morale comes from the Soul Wind. Come on! Oh yeah, he got another turn. Good. Does it make sense to try to kill him instead? Maybe we should have gone for the damage from the start, because I feel like... why are we doing so little damage? Oh, so little morale damage. I feel like we should have done way more. Okay. Okay, it's fine. We'll make it work. Terrified is going to be good here. Or Intimidation. And making them terrified. Yeah. Then they heal in the fountain. Yeah. Then double Bone Catapult here. And that's gonna do a lot of work for us. All that demoralized, because it scales with the amount of stacks on it. So now it's 35, then 30, then 25, and so on and so forth. And here, look, you can do the math on it. It's in it. These kinds of things that gives 5 extra per new one added. I did the math on it, and it's like it scales exponentially for every one you add. So when you get to around 10 and 11, that's where it gets like insane. insanely high, both for bleeding and for the demoralizing. And we're seeing it right here. It's super good. Does it make sense to slow them a bit, or just do more damage? Easy target. Damage taken from traps increased by 100%. We don't care about that. So here we have a bit of slow. And we can check my monsters here. 30, 115, and 20. So even with minus 40, even the slowest guy will still be faster than my 2 slowest guys. So my werewolf would go before the ninja, and it already goes before the other ones. I mean, it doesn't matter. So we might as well do the Stalactite Falls, which does some damage. Okay, go for the morale. But this guy's gonna die though. So I could have killed him before he got an action in here. Should have done that. But the Boarman is gonna smack him down and kill him. Huh. So much for going for the morale build. It's not really working out for us. Come on. I'm not sure why we're doing so little. Keep at it though. Now that guy's gonna run. And then the next guy's gonna run too. Alright. It worked. We get a choice between 3 artifacts, and that means now we will end up using words, having to discard one. What is this? Bewitched Glove. Demon's attack apply burning body. That's a new thing. Applies 3 burn to all heroes when killed, which means to 2 other heroes. So 6 burn total when a demon attacks. When a demon attacks a guy, they get burning body 3. And you can probably stack that on. And so if you kill them within the timer, you add 3 burn to all other heroes. Then this Aegis here seems really good. We are already comboing pretty heavily with creatures. They've also changed this one. Creatures benefiting from enraged gain plus 10 to all resistances and 20 extra armor. That's pretty significant. And the Horn of Plenty, I just don't like this one at all. So I don't like the Bewitched Glove, so let's click this one. But is it even worth replacing any of these? I don't know. Oh, I was thinking maybe we should replace the Magic Purse. Because this one isn't gonna help us in the final boss fight. At some point, so at least at the very end of the year, the Magic Purse loses all usability, right? It's been carrying us for a while. That's why we've been making so much gold. But do we need it still? I don't think so. Maybe we do this and then we're comboing so heavily with the creature thing. I think it's working out pretty well. It might be too early. 40 gold when a hero is defeated and it's weak 4 or something like that. So we're missing out on about, it's 120 every dungeon, and it's, let's say there's 5 dungeons, so it's 500 gold by replacing it now. It's fine. I think it's the right play. The One Above All. Nice, good name. Welcome to the stream, sir. And good morning. It is 2 AM where I am, so it's late in the night, playing some late night Legend of Keepers. Then Engineer, Merchant, Event. We can go Engineer, and just focus on leveling up the Lure. If I could get that one to level, whatever level it is, that it gets multi-action 2, that could be really, really strong. Oh, hold on. My Rallying Horn is outside. Oh, we have too many traps. Is that so? Like that then. Engineer. 325. And if we level it again, it becomes multi-action 2. I don't think I can afford that though if I do the Flying Dagger level. That's 150, putting us down to 325, and that's more than we just paid to go to level 3 in here, so... If it costs more than 475 to level it again, then I'm gonna miss out here, but I'm hoping that we can... 350, perfect. Yes. This is strong. If you level it to... Oh, it cannot be leveled beyond level 4. Level 4 is max then. Okay. Cool. Plunder or business trip? I generally like business trips more. We've got a dungeon coming up. So if anyone gets like knocked out from the plunder, then they won't be able to participate in this run here. And the business trip will only take one guy out of the fight. Yeah. This one I haven't seen since the rework. Scepter of Destiny. Monsters gain 1 random bonus at the start of each fight. See, now this is kind of... obviously it's not as good as the Totem of Strength if you can proc the Totem of Strength. And I think now I have built my rooms so that we always proc the Totem of Strength, so we don't need the other one. Maybe we could override the Troll Beer. Are we getting that every time? More or less. Yeah. We've got so many monsters, it's perfect. Saw your Stone Shard playthrough on YouTube. Okay, that's good. I hope you liked it. And I hope you like Legend of Keepers too. We've got Stone Shard streams on Saturday, which is today is Thursday, so in 2 days' time. I think it's better to go like this one, Scepter of Destiny. I don't even know what I would overwrite. Cursed Spirit is good. Ring of Wrath. The Ring of Wrath is not so good again. But now that we have the Aegis, which requires the Enraged, then you can get that at the very least on 2 of the monsters by letting another monster then die. Creature die. Then that would proc the Aegis for the rest of the group. So they kind of work together. The Scepter of Destiny... No. Alchemist we're not doing, so let's go for an event. Lost Adventure. While wandering around in the corridors this morning, you come face to face with a human. He seems as surprised as you are. What are you gonna do? We can get tiers for free. What? We have 61, which is pretty high. I don't think you can ever get a workout that needs more than 60 of any one of these resources in one fell swoop. If we get 2 workouts in a row, we could have ended eating through it and missing out. But we're also about to go into a dungeon where we will get more of these resources. So I'm going to go for gold. Yeah. And there's not like any workouts coming up. If we can choose, we want to go for morale to get more tiers. So, and we got another ice dungeon, which is bad. Dang it. Okay. We make a demon room again. And then a creature room as the second one. It's working out so far. There. Demon and creature. It's kind of perfect with what we've got. Got precisely what we need. What I really need is to save up a little bit of money and then find a trainer before the end of the run. Because all these level 2 monsters... Level 2 is a good middle ground. Level 3 is best, and then level 4 is rare. But we have one level 4 guy. The smallest guy we have is a level 4 guy, which is kind of cool. I've never had the Goblin Drummer actually where I played him as much as we're doing now, and it's kind of working out. What did he get from leveling to level 4? I don't see it. He didn't apply more enraged, so his main thing has not been affected at all. I think he's gotten way more tanky, he's probably gotten some better stats, but all around, like, and this passive here, I don't think I've ever done this area attack with him up here. Oh, that's not true. I did it with the Enchantress to do air weakness because I had an air combo with her. And we do have air in here, and that's it. So, I mean, we're not really comboing with that. But I suppose if he does air weakness once and all the damage, all the air resistance are negative, right? Then it's 42 damage per, modified again by the air resistance. So if the whole group is air weak, you could probably deploy him even as a damage dealer. Not sure if I want this. I like monster collection games like, what is Siralim 3 and Keeper RL. So I don't know those games. Is this game... Well, this game is fun. It's kind of a funny story. I know I haven't done a lot of content on this game, but before I was sick when I got the free code for this game by the developer. So by the way, this is technically still a sponsored playthrough. And I was sick when I got it, and I was like, I don't actually know if I'm gonna like this game. There's too many Dungeon Keeper clones. So I was playing it a little bit on my own time, and I basically lost like a week just playing Legend of Keepers all the time. I played it a lot, and it's very addictive. It's super hard, which is something that attracts me a whole lot. I've lost I win about 10% of runs ish. I feel like this is a win coming on, but we could suddenly lose, so it's not guaranteed. And yeah, it's not a perfect game, but during the few months that I played it, it has like 3 big updates, which have been very significant, and I think it's very promising in the way that it's been growing. Yeah, I'd say it's fun. Is it for everyone? Probably not. It's very technical, and you really have to think a lot about every little step that you take. And it's very unforgiving. Like, if you misclick on a random, like a wrong button, you can't go back, and it just keeps pushing on. There's no, like, undo button or anything. And if you misclick an event or something that you didn't want to do and hadn't set up, if you watch my series, you will notice that I have a lot of complaints about the game that I voice all the time, and so it's definitely not a perfect game. With that in mind. All right, let's focus on this dungeon here. We've got area nature. This is the exact same setup we just fought against. Like, down to the letter. Huh. That's the first time I ever see. Am I crazy? This is like a deja vu. We literally just did this exact same hero team. Interesting. They might be, I think this guy's higher level. Because of course we're a little bit later into the year, so now they come in at higher levels, but they are literally... I've never seen that before. Yeah. Exact same skills and passives, even. Okay, then. And this is the exact same Fountain of Youth. Am I crazy? I swear we already did this. No way. And okay, so it's a different vote up here. I mean, I'm not just too drunk to realize what's going on. I think it's... And we do have different monsters up here. Okay, whatever. You have Steam code. I was given a Steam code by the developer, yes, for this game to show it on my channel, if that's what you're asking. I don't have a Steam code to give out, unfortunately. I have some Steam codes lying around that I won't be dealing out here, but that I'm gonna make some in the coming months, when I get around to it and make the videos, I have some codes that I'm gonna do like giveaways with. It's been a while since I did it, and so these will be out of my own pocket. But when I buy games that I think look really cool and want to share with my friends, if there's like a 4-pack, in the past I've bought a lot of these 4-packs, and then probably only had, since I still have a few around, I probably only had like 1 or 2 friends that actually wanted to play the game, and so then I have some leftover copies, and I've been meaning to do giveaways with these things because I'm not using them anyway. But that's not for right now. Because it's not for Legend of Keepers. It will be kind of weird to do it in the middle of a Legend of Keepers stream, I think. So they all do area damage, which means that it doesn't matter at all where I place my units. I could get a money code. I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Above All. I got this game for free from the developers. If that's what you're asking, yeah. That's the only kind of code I got from them. I'm not using cheat codes inside of the game, if that's the question. They have negative armor, so the succubus is not good. We are gonna deploy the nightmare again, and then last time we did what? Oh, last time we did morale combo, and that's the one I was disappointed about, right? I think we gotta do it again though. I swear this is also the exact same setup of the dungeon, which is so unlikely that it's almost not possible. I can't believe that it's the exact same setup and the exact same heroes. I've never in my career as this playing this game have I seen this. But we have different monsters available, so something's different. We'll do the Gargoyle, and then we will do... Oh, this is perfect. The Gargoyle is faster than the Satyr. Oh, so we get to apply a debuff with the Satyr, and then we can push that debuff around with the... we deploy a debuff with the Gargoyle, and then we can push that debuff around with the Satyr. That's kind of perfect. Except he is nature, not resistance, but also not weakness. Boom, boom, boom. Same here. Yeah, they have ice and nature weakness, so we don't want to deploy you. No, and this is probably the best we can do. Do it. I think we're doing the same thing with the lure, and then terrify here, and then double. Where is it? Bone catapult in here. Oh, and now we're getting triple action from the trap. That's gonna be... You guys don't even know how strong this is gonna be. This is insane. Yeah. So morale combo is you, and... Oh. You for the stun. We don't really have a full morale combo in here. We can do it kind of. It'll be... All the morale damage will come from the orc, but we can give him enraged, which also combos with the Aegis. So if we don't have enraged from any other source, then getting it from the Goblin Drummer enables the Aegis. So that makes the drummer way better than I actually thought. He's super good now. They don't have air weakness, so I wouldn't attack with him. And then the Boarman will just try to stun the frontliner so that we trade some actions and can do more orc action. I think that's the best we can do in here. Good.
Come at me, bro.
There are creator codes that let streamers make a small percent of the sale. Is that true? Okay, well, I don't have that, so I don't have that for any games. So I don't make money off of sales anywhere. Man, that would be the dream. But I'm a small-time YouTuber. I don't get that kind of stuff. So it's fine. Let's talk about what just happened at the start here. The vote went to the heroes, so they all come in with enhanced armor, which doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna go for damage, and I'm not really doing physical damage in most cases anyway. So it didn't matter. And if I had gotten it, they don't do physical damage at all, so we wouldn't have cared. Then we rolled a lot of random bonuses. Let's see what we got. We rolled armor over here, which we just determined that doesn't matter. Enhanced resistance though. Yeah, that's something he rolled into, so that's perfect. Great. And that's definitely relevant. And then you got enraged, that's fine. Shell, right, from the troll beer. Another enhanced resistance. Like everyone got enhanced resistance here. Oh no, that's from the Satyr's passive. I thought that was when he died, but no, he applies that at the start of a fight. That's perfect. Super great, in fact. Okay, and then we got thorns over here, which is why this guy took damage. I was wondering. Aha. And shell and so he rolled a shell and 3 thorns. This guy must have rolled shell and enraged and enhanced armor and enhanced resistance was rolled over here. Okay. You are allowed to ask. Man, that would be the dream. One day I'll be a big time YouTuber who makes money off of all your games. Or some. No, probably not. No, I just do this for fun most of the time. I get free games all the time, and so to be fair, I get a lot of offers for free games, and I sort through a lot of really bad games. I'm not gonna mention anyone because I think it's super cool that they're sending me offers for free games, but man, I have to look through a lot of really trashy games to find the good ones. And so when I get a free offer, like an offer for like a game like Legend of Keepers, that's the best day of the week is when I get like a game like this for free, right? And it was immediately celebrated by playing it for a week straight. that tends to happen. Alright. Here we are doing some confusion, which is great. It's gonna spread all of this guy's debuffs. Well, these two here, Terrified and Demoralized, will be added on to whatever they have over here. So he should go to 3 Demoralized, 3 Demoralized, and they get 2 Terrified as well, because we just added that here. So this is perfect. Boom. Morale combo ensues. Don't kill me. Yeah, we got another turn. Good stuff. And do we get another action with the Nightmare? I think we do. Again, we're doing way less morale damage than I would have liked. I'm really disappointed by my front room here. It's not really morale focused as much as I wanted it. Now we got the multi-action on the next trap. It's also indicated by its sort of glowing up here, and that's gonna be great, especially with them all being terrified, which comes in here. Yep. And that guy almost died before we even got that far. Then triple action here, so 1, 2, 3, 14 demoralize. So, and the stalactite is so bad. Oh no, now I'm gonna kill the rogue. I didn't want to kill him. Oh, he died. I didn't want to kill him. I want him to be terrified. Whatever. Can't complain when they die. Ooh, look at the tankiness now. So, yeah. 95% armor is kind of crazy, guys. But this is because of the enhanced armor that one he rolled randomly into, and then he has high armor at the start. He also lowers all damage taken from attacks by 20%, by the way, and then right now he has the effects of the Aegis, giving him another 20 armor. So that's insane. But of course none of them are doing physical damage, but any hero that would do physical damage would not be able to ever touch this troll, that's the kind of thing you want to build in this game. And so they take 60 morale damage every turn. This guy's at 94, so he will get another action, and this guy will get 1 action, because then he goes down to 64, but then he also gets hit by the orc before he has another action. So They both get one more action, except if we can stun the frontliner. He got stunned, so we got one action coming in from the backliner, and like he can't hurt my guys. So we've won. Perfect. Did you just yeet some dead bodies? That's exactly what happened. It's what's it called? The bone catapult, which just throws corpses back at the heroes to make them terrified, and it is cool and gruesome. You know what's sad? We never get to see my intern play because we kill all the heroes or scare them away before we even get to him, which is sad. Here's a good question. The slaveholder upgrades are the best to get, so this is amazing. We don't want regeneration, we don't care about that, but resistances are so important. And percentage damage of what the heroes do is a big deal. So that's really, really good. But then power means I do more damage. And since I have an attack that heals a percentage of the damage that I deal, this is also power, is also kind of regeneration in battle. So 5% resistance though, with the 8 power is, I guess it's also, you could consider it a percentage of my physical damage. Right now we're doing 108. So that's like, well, okay, 8 of 100 is 8%, so 108 is like, then it's like 7.5% ish. Okay, so 7.5% increase in damage, or 5% more resistance. I'm still leaning towards the resistances because we take way more damage in fights than we do damage back. And oh no. So I have a thing that stacks in rage really quickly, which is a percentage increase on my damage, and that will increase on percentage on the extra power here as well. And then I think I keep going back and forth. I think the power is always the right play. But tough choice. I think power is the right play. Repeat them in the second room. We never get to see this Father of the Damned in play. I hope we get to see him sometime. It's very consistent that this nightmare doesn't take motivation loss when he goes down. He's almost as broken as the dragon at that point. We had a dragon earlier in the playthrough, which is I'm playing with modded units, so like this unit, and we have one more, right? No, we don't have more modded guys. Oh, yeah, we do have. Oh, the werewolf is also a modded unit. The modded units are homemade by other people, and I didn't read them in depth before adding them. I just added a bunch that I thought was cool. And they are consistently better than every other units of the same type and class. So, and the dragon was like unbeatable. So I sold the dragon, but we're still playing with the nightmare and the werewolf, and they are just making my side of the board a little bit stronger. And then specifically because this nightmare doesn't lose motivation ever, it's actually showing the motivation wrong. It has 7 bars for motivation here, but only 6 down here. So there's something completely wrong with his motivation. Like the werewolf works, not the nightmare. I can see your brain doing P90X. I don't know what that means, but I hope that that's a compliment. Yeah, it's fine. Trainer or engineer or event? I think we go trainer, event. Or it could be trainer, event, and then maybe even alchemist. But definitely trainer here. 2 levels of... Oh, I forgot it again. This is for everyone playing at home. When you go to the trainer in this game, it will only allow you to train units that are in the rooms. So by not shuffling them around first, we might not be able to level guys over here that I really wanted to level. Is that accurate? Yeah, there's only 10 guys here. Yeah. And there could be 12. So that sucks. I hate it that I can't. Why would it not just give me a choice? Instead of... you have to shuffle them around before clicking the button. Whatever. Now, we can't level willy-nilly. We can't afford a whole lot here, so... there is a level 5 for monsters, something that I wasn't really sure about, but we could level this level 4 up to level 5. Which we honestly might want to do, since the government drummer is really good for us at this point, because of this Aegis thing. Right, so we can get enraged on our creatures, and he's a creature himself, so he makes sure that I will always proc the Aegis. And so having him more tanky is pretty good. The little goblin drummer that good. So oh, now he gets a special border when he's leveled all the way. Cool. I didn't know, and that's nice to see. Okay. Next in line is... oh yeah, the ghost gets a self-destruct attack if you level him to level 3, which applies a lot of demoralized, and it can be worth it if you know that he's about to die anyway. It's a pretty good attack. And it's pretty cheap to level him to that point, so let's get it. Then we can do one more level. Okay, we haven't used the succubus at all. She's really good in specific scenarios, and then if that scenario is not what's happening, then she's useless. So that's why we haven't seen her in play yet. She's really good, though, when she works. I think I gotta level the Nightmare, though, because he's brokenly strong, and I am using him. So, there we go. Merchant is useless because we don't have any gold, so it's gonna be an event. Ragdoll Physics. Masok is volunteering as a training partner for the employees, or more precisely, a target. Think. What is happening? Yasok. Is that my... Masok is my intern. So he says... Masok is volunteering as a training partner for the employees, or more precisely, as a target. I don't get what's happening here. This is another complaint that I have for Legendary Keepers, is that these events and stuff like this is often not really explained what's actually ongoing. They have gotten better at that. The last update has added a lot of little parentheses that says this is what's happening. This one doesn't have that. So, what's happening? I think, if I have to guess, it means that this guy, Risri, gets a free level out of this. So he goes, actually it says he's level 1 right now, but here he's level 2. That explains it, right? Yeah, so he got a free level up. Okay. Alchemist, no, oh, we got the workout coming up. Okay, so event, workout, champion. Yeah. Event, workout, champion. Let's go. Broken trap. One of your traps didn't pass the last mandatory checkup. You can call a repairer to come at your expense, or send it 5 weeks for the technical department who will fix it for free. If you have the appropriate artifact, you can of course repair it immediately. Oh, that's a new thing. So if you have a specific artifact, depending on the trap, you can then repair it immediately for free. And we don't. So this actually doesn't matter. We can't afford to pay for it anyway, and this is our worst trap anyway, so we don't really care. We'll just we lose it for 5 weeks and then we repair it for free, so that's fine. We weren't going to use it anyway. Then workout. We will go to the sauna and increase our resistances by 5 for 30 tiers. Lift some weights for 8 power. Oh, and then we can't afford anymore. Okay, but it was the right call. This is another reason why I shouldn't overspend with my gold, because sometimes you also need it for the workout. That's too bad. 60 extra health would have been a lot. But the power, so like we just went over, power is super important. And it's still not showing the power increases on my stats. I really hope that they are adding the power. Here's the fun little thing, right? This game is played over 2 years in game time. So, and they've recently added this biography thing where it shows the age. And he started the Morg here, which is the centaur guy that we're playing. He's 54 years old when you start the game. But I've been playing more than we've been through the first year. So his age should be 55 now, and it hasn't increased. Literally unplayable. Just a fun little fact. Alright. I think this works out pretty well. This will be the last mission of the stream, because I'm also getting a little bit tired, and then it kind of fits perfectly that then the third stream will be finishing up the run. So it's about 3 streams for 1 run. It kind of works out. I'm using the same monsters all the time, but these are the ones that we have and they work, so can't really complain. This is a strong build, and we're resting the ones that aren't at full motivation so that they get the buff next time they're around. Oh, we have a skeleton in here that's snuck in, but we don't have any more demons to move in except the ones that are resting. So, yeah, because of the fire combo potential, we will leave in the skeleton. Good, go. Right, I'm not going to bed yet. We're going to play this champion fight, which is going to take the next 30 minutes, so it's not about to end. We have a very important vote this time. So if you've joined us just recently, we have this voting system set up. You have to be on the Twitch. You just write, what's it called? The little squiggly do. This symbol here. You just write this in the Twitch chat, or this over here to vote which side gets this buff. And Enraged 3 is a pretty big significant thing. You are absolutely allowed to vote for the heroes. People tend to vote for the monsters for whatever reason. You're absolutely allowed to vote for the heroes. We've got a champion fight, by the way, and one of the worst champions of all time. So this should be interesting. If no one votes, it's 50-50 on whose side gets it, right? Anyway, let me cover what. Let's start with the champion, because he's the fun one, or she in this case. This is a huntress. Let me see. It might have been changed. So no, this is the same as she used to be. So the huntress attacks the backline, and if she is affected by any penalties, she will stun that monster when she hits it with 100% hit chance, which I think is insane. So what you really want to do with this champion is to try to not hit it with a penalty, but sometimes you can't avoid it. But we are going to try to not get a penalty on her so that she doesn't stun my backliner. And then because if she gets away with that, she stuns it with 100% hit chance every turn, and then it never gets an action, so it's completely denied. And then she applies Enrage to all heroes when she kills a monster. That's really insignificant. It has to be her that does it, and if it's the last monster, it doesn't mean anything, and usually that doesn't really matter. But the stun thing is insane. Alright, so that's the champion. Then we have 2 heroes. We have an Imayagan, which I cannot pronounce that accurately. I bet I'm not, so that'll have to be what it is. He does air damage to the backliner and applies tiredness, and he has a 50% chance to apply stun with attacking. Okay, so the only upside to this is that a monster can't be stunned twice. So if they both stun it, it's kind of redundant at least. But there's a good chance that our backliner will be stunned. We can put it like that. Alright, and then we have a disciple here who does ice damage to the front and applies frostbite to all monsters if that target's life is below 50% before he attacks. That's how it works. So if that monster is above, is at 51% health when he is about to make his attack, he won't do the frostbite thing. But otherwise he will, and also if he kills that with that hash. The hashtag, thank you. Is that? Yeah, hashtag. Of course. That's what it's called. The little squiggly do. I like the squiggly do for a name for it. Oh, and someone voted for us to get the enraged buff. That's nice. I mean, I like a challenge, but of course I always also want to win, so it's tricky with I'm not sure what I would want you guys to vote for if I could choose. It's fine. What to do in this room? Again, we are unlucky. The frontliner has negative armor, and so the succubus here has a passive that says attacks ricochet to the hero positioned behind the target if the target's armor is positive. Which means that if the first and the second line unit has a positive armor, then she will be able to hit everyone with her pretty strong attacks. But since this guy is negative, it'll stop there, and then she's just bad. If she can hit 2 with it, she's kind of okay. When she can hit all 3, she's insane. She can't, so she's bad. Not in this dungeon here, or in this room. Then, are we going for morale or damage? That's another thing. She has pretty low morale. Is that so? And so does the disciple. And this guy actually has pretty low morale as well. Okay, so we also gotta look at the Fountain of Youth, which this has been pretty consistent that they always have the Fountain of Youth, but there are many kind of restrooms that can be here. And some of them deal with all kinds of stuff. Of course, one of them has to do with morale, so you have to check. And when it heals the heroes, I feel like going for morale, and it's perfect. So I feel like we're going for a morale build here. We have physical to the back, air to the back, and ice to the front. Do we have anything with ice resistance? Oh, we do. We do have the Gargoyle and the Dark Magus. Okay. It's the level 1 Gargoyle, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Then it's air and physical to the backline. Oh, what? He has 100% air resistance. No way. Like I said, and he got 70 extra health from that level up. Yeah, so this modded unit is definitely OP, overpowered. Oh my god, that is strong. So we are deploying him, obviously. So right now I'm thinking we're doing like this. I kind of want this ghost in here. So the question becomes, where would I put it, if at all? Now, this guy has a chance to stun him, even if all damage is resisted by us, of course. But he's gonna take literally 0 damage from this guy, and he's got 80% armor as well, so like the hero won't do a lot of damage to him either. It's kind of insane. So we got ice resistance, because the one we're gonna lose to is the disciple here. He's gonna chew through the front line, and if he gets to the demon, it has minus 60 ice resistance, right? So if he chews all the way through the front line, then he is gonna kill the demon. So we can put good ice resistance up front, the best we have. So I think this is the way we do it. That's gonna be... I think there's a chance that we win in this room. That's kind of silly. But we are gonna have one guy stunned most of the time, and chewing through these stats here is gonna be tough too. So we probably won't win in the first room, but we're gonna get a good effort in. I think we are gonna do the exact same we did the last time. Triple action to a trap, and then we are gonna throw a bunch of corpses at the enemies here. And then, assuming that we get to this room, we are gonna have, physical and air resistance at the back, which the Warman can do pretty consistently. Yeah. So Warman at the back, at the front, we need ice resistance, which we have in pretty good order with the Orc Sorcerer. But I think I'll do it like this. And let me think about that for a second, because there's more factors playing in here. The Orc Sorcerer. The thing is, this is not a morale build really. So, and I just leveled this guy to level 5. You would think that I would want to deploy the Goblin Drummer. Right? Maybe I put him at the back like that. To apply the Enraged. And then... maybe the Orc Sorcerer is the one we shouldn't deploy, because he does burn to the back line. And that would mean that she consistently stuns the back line of my guy. So if we didn't deploy you, maybe we do it like this, then we are only hitting the front line, or hitting with morale everywhere. How's their air resistances? They're pretty low. This guy has high air resistance, but everyone else is negative, meaning that the goblin will do... oh wow, his passive is triple damage now to people with negative air resistance. Wow. Oh, he gets good at level 5. Huh. But I'm trying to do morale damage here, but still that's... I'm starting to like the Goblin Drummer. I used to really hate him, but this here is really strong. Interesting. Huh. Anyway. I think this is the play. The Orc Sorcerer is so good, but not really here, and his only attack would apply burn to the backline, which we do not want. Okay. I'm like 90% sure that we actually win. Oh no, look at that! Haha, you're kidding me. This is kind of interesting, right? I have to choose one of these 3 options here. I didn't notice that this disaster came first. And every one of them applies a debuff to all enemies, which means that the Huntress will come in with a penalty on her and then consistently stun the backline. This is exactly what we were trying to avoid, and I thought I had, in fact, like planned it out so that we didn't have... oh no, I'm wrong! What am I saying? I was gonna give her Demoralized 12 in here, so it doesn't matter if I had the Orc Sorcerer in here doing the burn thing, because she would already have a penalty. I screwed it up, guys. Okay, it's fine. Regardless, this is still bad. Let me check the speed, because we can do slow 3 here. She has 95, 65, 45, and then in here we have pretty fast units. So these 2 are already faster than all the enemies. Then my demon has 80, and he's the backliner. So if I want him to get an action, I need her to be slower, and we can do that. And since all of these only deal with health, I think that is the right play for the morale thing. This one does a lot of damage, so if we can't do morale, but my whole thing has been built to morale. Well, okay, we're gonna do it like that. I'm not sure about this at all. Okay. We are gonna do impairment for... oh, I was gonna do this anyway, I guess. Yeah. Giving her a penalty. Why? Oh, he ignores the first attack. Yeah, that must have been what just happened, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's why he's not tired then. Okay. I have a bad feeling about this. That's good damage. So now he gets done, but look at that tankiness. So, like I said, it's gonna be the Disciple touring through the front line that kills the demon. These 2 cannot do it. He took 7 damage that round. What the frick? He also takes 20% less damage from all attacks. He got enraged. This guy got enhanced armor. Oh, and then thorns here. Anyway, impairment also makes them do less damage, by the way, so that's part of the reason why we take so little damage over here. Yeah. Keep stacking it on. So he never gets an action again. It's just not gonna happen. Oh no, the gargoyle won't live because he's got frostbite now, so he's dead. Ah. Oh well. Keep stacking on the morale. He doesn't get a turn, but he's the perfect tank for this fight. It allowed the frontliners to get more actions in, but then they will die. Yeah. And what he just did, he used his skill, removes penalty with the most stacks applied from all heroes at the start of his turn once. I didn't see what he removed. Oh yeah, it was the tiredness. He removed the tiredness for the one. Yeah. And so that's the final action it got. And so even if my demon is super tanky here, there's nothing I can do. Basically, that's it. That's why the stun champion is so dangerous. Right, because this game is all about the action economy. And it's gonna be like this every fight. The good thing is that the intern and the master is immune to stuns, right? So that's part of the reason why the Huntress isn't so super strong. She's really good against the small monsters, not so good against the rest. And she also cannot kill monsters against the intern or the master, so in the end, I mean, she's probably honestly a bad champion. She's good for the rooms, but not for the end fights at all. Intimidation here. Then comes the triple catapult, which is still insane. Look at that bullshit. That's nice. War drums here for more enraged and... why, why are you so damaged? What happened here? Did I miss something? Why is he at half health? I hate when I don't understand what's going on. I've never seen that before. He started the fight with damage. Now I don't know. Strange. Backliner never gets to do anything, but both the back and the front line this time is pretty tanky. We can keep doing War Drum, just stacking on the enraged. The only thing it's gonna do for us is increase the morale damage of the orc. Damage and morale dealt, yeah, so... and its area, so it's... I mean, it's pretty significant. Can I ask for the top 3 tips for a new player? You know what, I was actually thinking about, and I have made notes for like making a tip video. Top 3 tips. Yes. I have one at least that is very important for a new player. I won't demonstrate it right now because it will kind of destroy what we're doing. But so to get good at the game, which is something you would want to do, and to learn the game mechanics and how to play it, here's what you do. When you play a run, and this is called save scumming, but you can save scum in this game basically, and what you do is just before your master dies, when the first time you're about to lose, you accept that you have lost, then you click here and you go to main menu, and as long as you do it before your master dies, it will throw you you can continue the run, and then it'll start the same dungeon over, and you can plan it, replan it, and do it entirely from the beginning. Not the entire run, but this specific dungeon. And so you can use that the first times you screw up to get like, okay, so I lost, and then you think, okay, but could I have won it if I had done things differently, right? And then try that out, use that to really learn the mechanics instead of just losing and feeling like you didn't learn anything because you made a stupid mistake or something. So save scumming, I did that a lot in my when I was just testing and trying out the game. Just go main menu, drop out the game, redo it. I know it's some people frown upon save scumming, but if you've already lost and you commit to that feeling, use the opportunity to learn how you could have beaten that same adventurer group if you had done things differently. Sometimes it'll be just impossible, but maybe you learn a few things by trying things out that way. That's a really, really good and important way to play the game. I know I wrote some notes for tips for a tip guide. Maybe I can find it real quick. You know, I'll do that at the end of the stream. I know I wrote like a list of tips that I was going to do on my tip video. You say you would never do that, but like I said, I'm not a save scummer normally, but it really helps you understand the game mechanics, so consider it. Even if you just do it once and then you can quit out of the game after, just see if you could beat, because this is more like a puzzle game. You need to figure out where pieces go, and to do that accurately, you really need to understand all the little intricacies of the game mechanics. Then another good tip, wow, look at that. They all just ran away in one fell swoop. Another good tip is to really understand debuffs, specifically bleed, poison, and demoralize. They get stronger the more stacks you have on them. So if you have one stack of demoralize or bleed or poison, they do 5 damage. If you have 2 stacks, it does 10 and then 5, like over 2 turns. So that's 15. You see already that now by adding 2 stacks instead of 1, we have tripled our damage. And then 3 stacks goes to 15. So now you have 30 incoming from 3, and it increases exponentially. So bleed, poison, and demoralize are the best debuffs you can apply, and demoralize and bleed are not affected by any resistances, where poison though is affected by nature resistance. So if you can absolutely do with the enchanters, I like doing a very focused nature build where you have poison focus, and that can work if you meet a group of adventurers that have on average low nature resistance. Doing a full poison build is really strong. And in general, bleed, poison, and demoralize are the kind of builds you should really focus on. So that's the 3 main builds that I consider viable. And then the third tip is to I don't think you can save scum into that, but you can I'll show that in a second here. Let me choose here. Like, also consider that I'm not an expert in this game in any way, so what I say may or may not work for you. We get an elite unit or the artifact, and the artifact we can only have 5 artifacts, and we already have that. So I don't think I want this demon thing, though it's super cool. I think it's better to get one of the other things. This is a demon, perfect. Chuboko. This is kind of precisely what we need. Yeah. Because it's a demon, and we need more demons. This is a skeleton, and we're not really comboing the skeletons. Though he's super cool. All skeletons gain enraged 3 at the start of a dungeon, including himself, and he's got 2 super powerful attacks, and then he's got good stats all around the skeleton lord here. So if you're doing a full skeleton build, and you can, and this is one of the elites that if you have multiple choices for him, you can run 6 skeleton lords. I think I had 3 skeleton lords in one run, and they buff each other with their skill here, and then they do insane damage. That works. Some of the other elites you can't really stack. I think you could stack this guy too if you really wanted. He's good. So specialized over white net, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Absolutely. And you want to specialize in 2 things, usually, right? So, because if you go full on nature damage and then you meet a group of adventurer where everyone has positive nature resistance, then you die. And if you go focus fully on just destroying people's morale, then we meet that one group where they have morale healing, and they get that rest room where they fully heal their morale, and so you lose because you can only do morale damage. You gotta specialize in 2, maybe 3 things. Like here I'm going specifically, I have a very, very strong bleed build here, and we are doing morale damage in both rooms, and I have at least a fire combo between these 3 monsters, and then everything here can do morale and everything. So in traps it's kind of the same. You gotta also, of course, it makes sense, you gotta work your traps into your strategy as well. So here I got a trap that combos into the bleeding thing, and then at least one other trap that works with damage, and then we have 2 really good morale traps, right? And so now I got the lure, which is the best trap in the game. It's also an elite trap that allows you to copy another trap, and that's what we're doing, where I'm just... So then you only need 1 other good trap in the 2 other categories. Like I could copy the circular saw and add 12 stacks of bleeding, and like we covered before, the more you stack it on, the better it gets. It goes exponential, and I can do that with the bone catapult. So like the lure with the circular saw and the bone catapult, this little, we can call it like a triangle of traps here, is insane. Like it does so much damage. I did the math on like what happens when you add 10 stack of one of these things here, and it's like, I don't remember it, but I remember being overwhelmed by how significant the curve is for that. And I'm not a mathematician or anything. The other thing that is really important to understand in this game is that when you click a button here, it's locked in, right? And that's something that was really hard in the start for me, was because you feel like, okay, in this week you can do 3 different things. So you go like, what is a business trip? You click the button, then you gotta do a business trip, even though you found out that, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And so it takes, like, there's no save scumming with this. So that's something you gotta learn. And you should never go to the engineer or the trainer when you have less than 500 gold, because you can buy a lot of stuff in one fell swoop. So it's better to do a lot of events, go up to about 1,000 gold, and then go to an engineer or trainer and then spend the whole thing in one fell swoop, instead of going to the engineer multiple times and spending as effectively actions on that, if it makes sense. So which 2 effects are the strongest? I think it kind of depends on the master that you're running. The slaveholder is very, he's got the most focus on morale of the masters, and he's the best one with the morale build. In fact, the enchanters can't really do morale at all, and he gets... Let me see if I can... You don't start with that one, you don't start with that one, you don't start with that one. You start with these 3 traps, I think. Yeah. So he always starts with the bleeding. So like what I'm getting into, it really depends on the master. But for the slaveholder here, since he always starts with the circular saw, and you always start with... I have upgraded him so he starts with a vampire, but then he usually starts with a few other monsters. Like he starts with the orc, that does bleeding, and then when you upgrade him into getting the vampire, he does bleeding, right? So it's kind of set up for you. They want you to go with a bleed build with the master, and it is super strong. He also, when he attacks, can we see that? Can we see his attacks? Yeah, here. If you look at his things, he's got 3 different attacks. One of them is a morale thing, which the enchantress doesn't get a morale attack at all. So again, this guy can actually attack morale on heroes, and that makes him, again, good for morale. Then he's got 2 things that work with bleeding. One is that he stacks bleeding on enemies, and the other one is where if he hits a guy with bleeding, then he heals himself. So, like, it's kind of built into him. You want to go with bleeding when you go for this guy, and it's so freaking strong when you stack it high enough. So, that's a big... Strongest master then? Oh. Easiest to play is this guy. And since we could go main menu. I'm gonna end this stream after we're done talking here, so let me just go and compare them a little bit. The Enchantress is super cool on her own. She's very different. That's also a good plus for the game, is the big difference between... Oh, gotta... Okay, load. Can I get to look at the other one? Okay then, I cannot. Can I really not look at the Enchantress at all? Like, look at her here? No. Can't even click her. Okay. She's very, very different. Starts with different traps, different heroes, has different types of dungeons. She's very, like it says, she's very spell focused. Like with my slaveholder, I got that big intern guy, which is like a mini boss monster that comes just before the slaveholder. She gets an additional spell room instead, which is super powerful and very complex. You get like 9 different spells to choose from and upgrade. I think I like playing her more. She's tricky. At least from the start, you can't go for morale at all, and it also is specified here. Like her thing is not morale, and so if you have heroes that come in and that are really focused on having high health, then she's not gonna be able to. She's not gonna be able to just switch into morale when they are really strong in health, right? So you gotta be able to attack all the different resistances. Like she's really good at elemental stuff. So you gotta do ice and fire combo at least, because at least the heroes will always be weak to one of those. And then she usually does nature too, right? So you go, and she can also do air. She gets elemental monsters. And I guess I haven't played her since the new update, so she's probably different now. I don't really know, but yeah. I think the slaveholder is better, and it's the only thing you can play as a new player. So it's I was gonna say it's better for new players. And then the engineer, I'm very interested to see. I'm betting you that traps here means that she gets an extra trap room with a super trap, and I'm very excited to see what that's gonna be all about. That sounds super cool. And then I'm hoping for like robots and stuff like that. Yeah. It's this game is really, if you look at it and boil it down, it's pretty simple. Another really good, maybe I should find that tip list. I know I wrote it, but it's been like a month. Oh no, maybe it's going. I have it here. Aha! Can you guys? Oh, you can't read it. I'll read it out. And so this is like the prototype for my tips video, if I'm ever gonna do it. But it says tips, Legend of Keepers, and the first tip is stack poison, bleed, and morale. There you go. More monsters are better. Yes, that's very important. One of my taglines for this game is that every run is a marathon and not a sprint. You don't want to always just have one big monster that's really good, because then he gets knocked out for whatever reason, and then you gotta have more monsters to replace them and circle them in. So that's kind of what you're seeing in my ongoing playthrough here, is that we have way too many monsters. But this is important because you are sending your monsters on business trips, and you're sending the monsters out to plunder, and then they get tired, and then they get unmotivated, or whatever. Now, when I have, we have 12 plus 8 is 20 monsters, that's a good number. But before you get to that number, like 12 is too little. And then sometimes you end up not having, like, if you can't fill up your runes, you have less options. So more monsters better. Then build combo rooms. We sort of went over that, right? That's build combo rooms, which means you look for all your creatures that do bleeding and put them in one room together. Because the more you stack it, if you do spread it all different rooms, then the debuff would peter out before you get the whole thing. So you build up a bleed room, and then we build a fire room here with also, and have morale in both of them, stuff like that. Build combo rooms. Then select events carefully. That's kind of plays into what I said earlier, but you gotta understand them, but the game is also very unforgiving in that it's sort of if you click the wrong thing, you're just locked into that. So you gotta really think about what you're doing and what you're clicking. Oh, and then a tip is how to save scum. So I explained that to you guys, and I think, and then I should explain why that is important, is to get good at the game. Study heroes, yeah. So every time you get a new group of heroes, look at them in detail, figure out what their resistances are and stuff like that. You can't just play the same group of monsters every time. You gotta specialize it to the group of heroes that are coming in. Oh, then this tip is outdated. The magic purse is the best artifact. Sell it in year 2. And I guess it still counts. The magic purse was nerfed in the previous update here. And we had it in this run, and I think I still... Because it's an economy item, and I'm an economy player. I always want to get the stuff that makes me more resources so that I can buy more stuff. And the magic purse is the item that does that. And it still does that really well. So I still think it was overpowered before. It's not as overpowered anymore. Combo with 1-2 different monster types. We've been over that. What to say? Shift between... change between damage and morale. Okay. I think at the end of the list here I was sort of fishing to just try to get to 10. But maybe I should just make it like a top 5 tips, because the rest isn't. And then the final one is higher risk, higher reward, which I always take the highest risk stuff because it gives better rewards, and you should do that unless you really know for sure that you can't beat the I have been in situations where I choose the smaller adventurer group because my slave holder maybe was at 10% health, or half my monster base is knocked out or whatever. Then this run is a bad representation of Legend of Keepers, because this is my strongest run so far. Like, I've never had this many monsters that are this high in motivation and this high level, and we have the best traps that you can have almost. Like, it doesn't get much better than this. So part of the reason is because I'm playing with these mods that have some slightly overpowered units, and I'm gonna, in future playthroughs, I'm probably not gonna play with this Nightmare guy because he's too strong. The werewolf is a little bit more... I don't think he's actually overpowered. I think he might be slightly stronger, but he's got some significant weaknesses, and yeah, the Nightmare is broken. An update to Stone Shard chips would be nice. I'm definitely gonna do that. I was thinking about waiting, like, because if I do it all the time, then it will be outdated again. So maybe I can make it updated like once or twice a year. And the next big update that comes out is gonna be a massive one. So then I might, when I've specialized, like gotten good with that one, I probably will make like a tips video again for Stone Shard. So about half a year after the first one makes sense. And so yeah, that's all I have for you today, guys. I gotta go to bed because I am getting tired. The one above all, thank you for joining. It was nice talking to you. And to everyone else who watched, you don't have to comment ever. It's always nice that you are just watching. And I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Now I will go and turn it off. So that will happen when I find the button, as always. And there we go. 3, 2, 1.